Now, the Florida branch already existed before we moved into it. Steve Cohen, one of the founding missionaries with Jews for Jesus, had begun the work back around 1989. And so there were already a lot of things in place when we got there. But interestingly enough, just before we arrived, the branch was moved. And we were almost like in storage. So our finances weren't doing real well for the Florida branch at that time. And so it took a couple years before we could move out of a little warehouse type situation into a real office. But God had gifted and equipped Stan in many different ways. You know, he's not, he's a multi-talented person, is what I'm trying to say. And so, though his love is missionary work, he's also very good at administrative things. And so he was the right person at the right time to take over the Florida branch, to move it into an office where he had the idea that we should have a bookstore to attract Jewish people to come in. And the location that we picked was right near a Jewish diner. And so, naturally, you know, Jewish people like to eat. I do too. And so they would always, a lot of people would be at the Inverary Diner, and it was just a few doors down from the Jews for Jesus office, and they'd be sitting nicely at their table eating, and then suddenly they'd look out the window and they'd go, Jews for Jesus? When did that get here? So some of them would walk over to our office and say, you can't be Jewish and believe in Jesus. That's like vegetarians for roast beef. Or some would get really upset, but some would come in and they would really ask questions, sincere questions, trying to put the pieces together, trying to figure out how is it possible for a Jewish person to believe in Jesus. And we were able to sit down and talk with a lot of different people that way. But you know, most of the way that we meet Jewish people is through Christians like yourself, because many times a Christian will call us and will say, hey, I have this Jewish friend. I've been talking to them about Jesus for a while, but now they're starting to ask questions that I don't know what to say. Would you be willing to meet with the two of us and talk further with them? And that's actually how we meet many of the Jewish people that we get to witness to.